which is not a hardship by any means. It was just a little bit different. And I got here a little bit later than normal, not hellaciously later, but and I ran the donuts up here first because I wanted to drop them off. And then I have to go park my car on the other side of the parking lot because I have to charge my car.
Oh, yeah. You're not one of the gas people anymore.
Bro, right. And they refuse. I've asked so many times, hey, can we get a charger that's not 1.5 miles away from our building? That would be cool. Like, you have to get an Uber to get from the chargers to here. You don't, but it feels like it sometimes. And they won't do it. So, anyways, I come up here and I drop off the donuts, and naturally the yap session begins with the homies in sales. Because I'm not just going to ignore them. Like, I'd say good morning, and then they come over and they're looking at the donuts and like, wow, these are delicious. And I got to tell them the story about going to pick them up at Mochi Nut. And oh, what kind of donuts is? What's different? I'm like, oh, it's made with mochi. It's gonna be a little chewier. It's delicious. And they got so I had this whole thing, and then I didn't get up here, and then I got up here and I started working on the show, and then more yapping happens, and I feel like usually before a show I get really locked in, and I'm trying to kind of go through the couple hours in my head and just making sure, okay, this will lead into this, and if we get off track here, we can get back on track of this. Just in my brain, I have to lay out because I can't deal with just like sitting down and turning on the mics like and just talking.
Brother, this is why you need to join me in the studio next time. Sit in the dark and go over the show.
I have to have an idea of what I think the show is going to look like in different ways I can adapt if the show goes these different ways. And I didn't get to finally sit down and like lock in.
I've tried to work out there. I can't do it.
Most of the time it's fine.
Yeah, like it's just
people were just excited about the mochi nuts today.
Yeah, but like it's just not even that people bother you. It's just, I don't know, it doesn't feel like a workspace to me. Like I feel like it's just, I don't know, it's weird.
That's why I like it. I think that's why I like it, because if you're unfamiliar with our studio setup here, you walk in and there's like a little lobby with a couple of couches, or like a corner angled couch, and then there's a kitchen and a communal like workspace.
Yeah.
And I like sitting out there because it's open. I don't really have a desk. Like I could probably go claim one, but I'm not going to do that. So it's just open. And then you get salespeople walking by and they'll come over and chit chat. Like that's kind of nice. But sometimes I gotta get dialed, and I got a late start today. So
that's why I like working in Studio One where Joe's at right now. Cause I'll be sitting there. The only people that really go in there are the people that need to. Charlie, Joe, you, it's fine. Everyone just gets in, gets out. I get to work and I go home after that.
My favorite thing when people who are not Charlie, Joe, me, or Lizzie go into Studio One is when anytime it's not one of those people, the person like knocks and then they'll like look in the window like, can I come in? Am I? And it's like, yeah, man, I'm come on. There's just this like nervousness, like they're gonna blow up the program.
It's so funny
by walking in the door to Studio One.
If you're on deal, if you do that during dealer and KC, we'll just probably say, hey, so and so's in the studio. Like, oh, Jen's here. I'm getting fired, guys.
Yeah. You might be the butt end of a joke, so I can kind of understand where. But they like to hide too in the corner, away from the window.
Yes, they sit way over there, away from the window, away from the camera. Yeah. I felt bad one time. You mentioned Jen, our HR lady, and we'll get to sports. We have a lot of sports to talk about. I promise. We got NFL schedule release, NBA playoffs, the end of the Golden State Warriors again, maybe, and Jesse's Celtics dig deep to force
still here.
6. They're still around.
Still here.
We'll talk about all that, but I felt bad because Jen is our HR lady.
She's great.
And Jen is a delight, just A+ person. And she walks in one day with Joe, and Joe was having us sign a card for one of our coworkers. But Joe just walks in with Jen, and I turn around, I see her, and Joe just goes, hey, can you sign this?
It's a manila envelope, too. Don't
forget that. And a manila envelope.
Yeah. I remember.
Can you sign this? I was like, what?
You can't be doing that.
Do what? And I felt bad because I looked at Jen right in her face and goes, I was scared to see you. What a terrible thing. That's an awful thing for me to say.
She gets it.
Yeah, she's got to know the job, though.
No, totally. But let's see. When I know that Jen is here just to work and not because there's stuff going on, it's like, great. Love to see Jen in the office.
Yeah.
Wonderful person. But I just looked her right in the face. I was like, oh, I hated that you walked in here. Felt so bad.
Like the thing. She's like the nicest person in the building.
Yeah. And then you guys get on air and they're like, oh, we're all fired. Yeah. Jen's here. Like, she's just this horrible person. Anyways, shout out to Jen.
Shout out.
Shout out to the Minnesota Timberwolves as well. They beat the Golden State Warriors last night in Game 5 of the Western Conference semifinals. The Wolves punched their ticket back to the conference finals for the second consecutive year. Before we get into the game and what last night means for the Timberwolves and certainly what it means for Golden State, I saw a preponderance of reaction on social media.
Enough for you to text me about it.
Enough for me to text you about it. There were people, and I don't want to say this was like a large, the fact that there's any people that do this bothers me. So this isn't a huge chunk of people. It wasn't like a talking point on First Take or anything crazy like that. We need to stop policing how fans celebrate, or excuse me, when fans celebrate.
What do you mean? It's got to be when so-and-so is healthy, the whole team is healthy, everyone's got to be at their A game, and that's how.
It's outrageous, dude.
Yeah, it's an ongoing, I think.
Why are Timberwolves fans celebrating? Steph didn't even play.
We were texting about it yesterday. I think it's a social media thing that's kind of made fandom for the worst.
I agree with you.
It's like no, every playoff, whatever you want, postseason, someone is hurt. Every team has someone hurt. Yes. Every team that wins the championship has some type of luck that goes their way.
Yes.
And if you want to talk about it, that's fine. But also the sky is blue this morning as well. It doesn't matter.
Here's where the Steph Curry injury fits into the analysis of the Minnesota Timberwolves going to the conference finals. If you don't believe, if you say, hey, you know what? Minnesota isn't as dominant as they were in that series because Steph didn't play, that gives me pause when picking them against either Oklahoma City or Denver in the conference finals.
Yeah.
I don't really fully buy into the Timberwolves just yet because I don't know how much I learned about them in that series. Okay, I don't mind that. But Timberwolves fan being fired up that they went to the conference finals, bro, if the Kings played G League teams and made it to the conference finals, we would be celebrating on this radio station.
I have celebrated Summer League. I will celebrate anything.
Yes.
Come on.
You went to the everything.
Come on.
Yes. I follow somebody who used to work for the Timberwolves, who's a big Timberwolves fan.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, it sucks that Steph was hurt, but the Timberwolves have been this far in the playoffs in my 3 times in my 36 years of life.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, man, party on.
Yeah, if you're a Timberwolves fan, not in a, who cares about Steph? Who cares that Steph was hurt? The Timberwolves fans don't get breaks. You finally got one, and now you're in the Western Conference Finals. Not even to say that if Steph was healthy, that the Warriors beat them, because I don't even believe that. But whatever, dude. That's not the point.
13 points in 13 minutes in game one.
Yeah.
Anyways, no.
Yeah, but the whole point is the break went your way. Don't apologize for
That's it. Yes. The break went your way.
Mm-hmm.
And they, frankly, the story to me with Minnesota, Julius Randle was freaking outstanding.
Yep.
The Warriors defense was still good. Steph Curry being out probably hurt them defensively, just in terms of it makes life a little bit easier on offense when you're up 10, 12, 14 points because the other offense can't score. So I don't think that helped it. But defensively, it's not like Steph's some juggernaut defender where all of a sudden it's like, wow, the Warriors defense broke down. The Warriors defense is still really good. And Julius Randle dominated, and Anthony Edwards took over at every big spot he needed to take over.
Yeah, question for the Warriors fans going at Timberwolves fans. Did you apologize for beating Matthew Dellavedova in the finals?
That's it.
No, that's all.
Right. Yeah. It's just, if you're a Golden State fan and you're looking for cope and you want to go, man, you know what? I think we get that team with Steph. See you next year. Okay. That's fine. But what's a Timberwolves fan supposed to do? Hey, we're going to the conference finals. Didn't really deserve it though.
Yeah, no, that's not happening. That's so sad.
Stupid.
Yeah.
That's so dumb. That's so dumb.
It's when your team loses, being cordial doesn't make you feel better. I guess you have to attack other people.
I hate the
right?
whole. Yeah.
Dude, it's salute. The Timberwolves were awesome.
Oh, I agree. I completely
The Timberwolves
agree.
played really well.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
2 rules as a fan is you root for your team and talk trash if you want. All you can do is talk as a fan and root for your team. That's it.
Yeah. Just while and look, this happened with the Pacers last year, by the way. Remember the Pacers fake run to the conference finals?
Yeah.
And now they're back in the conference finals.
Yeah. Who knew?
Come on. Let's just no, it's interesting you say that though, and this gets us into, I guess, what's next for Golden State, because Steph Curry being out is obviously a massive, massive loss.
Yep.
Steph Curry is one of the singular, most impactful offensive forces in the sport right now. And not having him is going to adversely impact a team, and like I said, on both ends, either directly or indirectly. What Minnesota did against Golden State, though, was expose the major flaw with Golden State.
And that is?
They are built around Steph Curry.
And only.
Everything that they are doing revolves around Steph Curry being on the floor and impacting defenses the way he impacts defenses. Got guys panicking on pick and rolls. They're not sure how they want to play this pick and roll. Oh my God, there's an offensive rebound. Now it's a scramble. Now there's an open three. And it just, it impacts the opponent in such a massive way. They don't have another pitch. And that's what got exposed in that series against Minnesota. You watched the Celtics last night. And again, this isn't to say that Golden State should be as good as the Celtics. Celtics roster is one of the best in the NBA. But the Celtics lose Jason Tatum and come out and win by 22 at home in Game 5. They won by 22 points.
Yep.
Without Jason Tatum, their best player.
They were able to do that because Jaylen Brown slips into Jason Tatum's role and Derek White's able to be the number 2.
Right.
I mean, Derek White went for 30 or whatever, but you get the point.
They have the depth to withstand that loss. Golden State does not have that same depth. They don't even have a little bit of that. Steph Curry goes out. Moses Moody unplayable, Quentin Post unplayable,
and I don't think
all of a sudden they can't shoot.
I don't think Jimmy Butler at this age is ready to take on that role either once Steph is out.
No,
and without any help, if that's going to be it.
If they if Quentin Post had been able to play, if Moses Moody had been able to play in this series, like credibly play, when Jimmy Butler gets into the paint and passes it out to a shooter, that's going to work.
Yep.
When you pass it out to a player who's going to head fake and then put the ball on the deck and recycle the drive and kick, you're going to run into an issue. And that was their issue. They just didn't have enough. It's why I thought even after the Jimmy Butler trade, okay, Golden State's a lot better, but they're not hanging with the best teams. They're not hanging with Oklahoma City in a 7-game series.
Well, there's just no room for error too. And we just saw that.
Yeah. It's not just that Steph went out and like, oh man, they just lost these games. They got smoked in Game 2. They lost Game 3 where they played really well and they just didn't have it. Minnesota just pulled away.
Yeah.
That's what happened in all these games. Every time Golden State would like, oh, even last night, like they cut it to 9, 2 possessions back to 14.
Is it wrong to say too in this series that Minnesota necessarily didn't even have to have their best foot forward the entire time? It feels like we didn't see like Minnesota, like their best basketball, I guess.
No,
and they didn't need it against the Warriors.
I don't remember a single thing Naz Reid did in that series.
Yeah, like they just didn't need it against the Warriors without Steph.
Yeah, Naz Reid was a non-factor. Dante DiVincenzo struggled to shoot it. Mike Conley and granted, DiVincenzo and Conley both hit big shots last night, but they struggled to shoot it the entire game or entire series. Like you said, Minnesota wasn't great from a top to bottom perspective. They were more talented.
Yep.
Their depth pieces when Anthony Edwards or Julius Randle wasn't hitting shots. Oh, there's one from Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Oh, there's one from Dante DiVincenzo. Oh, Jaden McDaniels gets to the rim and scores. Like the talent disparity. And I don't want to undersell Steph Curry's value, but the talent disparity when you remove him is just so vast. And that's a team building problem for Golden State. They didn't have enough players who were ready to play in a big series without Steph Curry.
You take Steph off this team for 82 games and they're a play-in team, maybe.
No, they're a lottery team.
Well, lottery. Because it's like watching the series, like Kuminga, I don't even know what to make of that. I don't know what you make of that. Draymond Green is a Hall of Famer, but he's just not. He's not a third man on any team right now at this point, or anyone that can fill into a role with Steph Curry out. And just the rest of the guys, they're just guys.
That's it. They have a bunch of dudes who just couldn't stay on the court. And when you're lacking shooting, and hey, Quentin Post, he can shoot it. Nope, but hey, he can't hang in this series. Okay. Oh, Moses Moody, he can shoot it. Oh, he can't hit the broadside of a barn, and he's getting cooked defensively. All right, he's gonna go. And now you're relying on Jonathan Kuminga, who, like you said,
out of your rotation 2 days ago,
is an enigma. I have no idea what to make of Jonathan Kuminga. Really talented scorer, but is he a talented scorer like he's transcendent? Or is he a talented scorer in the way that, you know what, hey, there's a lot of guys that when given the opportunity to just put the ball on the deck and go score, they can go score.
Yep.
I have no idea. But I certainly know what Steve Kerr thinks about him. Not a fan.
Not a fan at all.
Might have watched Jonathan Kuminga's final game in a Warriors jersey, but we'll talk about what's next for Golden State because Kenny's of the belief from D'Lo and KC. Kenny's of the belief that Golden State post Steph Curry is cooked. Damian isn't so sure. I'm pretty sure they're cooked post Steph Curry. And we talked about owners yesterday on D'Lo and KC. I think the Warriors might run into an owner problem.
Oh, wow.
And we'll get into that. The Timberwolves, also very good team. Want to make sure that we put a bow on that. This is our second straight trip to the conference finals. Who did they face? We'll talk about that coming up in a bit. The Celtics, Jesse Celtics, dug deep to get a W last night, and the NFL schedule is out. Raiders, 49ers. We're going to go game by game. We're going to do predictions. But we're going to still recommend that they play the games just in case.
Yeah, because what do we know?
Yeah, just in case we're wrong, they should still play the game.
I might have predicted an 11-6 Miami Dolphins season already. Who knows? So
I love this for you. I love
I'm probably going to be wrong.
We can go through the Dolphins.
Whole point. No, I don't want to do that.
That's Jesse. I'm Kyle. Joe Brazil on the ones and twos. We're the Insiders, sponsored by Jiffy Lube. Back in a second here on ESPN 1320 at Sacramento Sports Today. No.
Russ, shout out to you because when you got a take or a thought, you let it fly. Respect that.
Yes. And honestly, even a little bit after they drafted Steph.
Yeah, Tony, they are. So what about it?
I'm so jealous of everybody who covers the Minnesota Vikings.
Why is that?
Because you get to go to Europe for 2 weeks. That sounds so fire.
Yeah. I've come to learn I'm not like a long-term vacation type of guy.
It's not vacation. You're working.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe that would help.
But on like an off day or when you got some time, you just get to go vibe out.
I think you're right.
London or Berlin.
Yeah. It sounds fire.
Are they in London and Berlin? Is that right?
Not sure. Warren, I'm pretty sure this is going to be our starting center next year, so no. But thank you for asking anyways. John Pauls, we need the vibes out there. Shout out.
The Vikings are in Dublin, Ireland, and then London. Bro, that'd be amazing. Have you ever been overseas?
No, just down south.
Word. That'd be fun.
Paulo, the first 8 games of the Dolphin season has me like just incredibly delusional right now.
Let's see.
I got him losing 3 games in December though, so that's on par.
Let's see. All right, here we go. I'm going to go through the Dolphin schedule right now. 1-0, 1-1, 1-2, 2-2, 3-2, 3-3, 4-3, 5-3.
That's pretty good.
5-4, 5-5.
Oh no.
5-6.
Stop.
6-6.
There we go.
7-6. Let's go 8-6. 8-7.
Oh, we're getting to December now, huh?
8-8.
Oh, we're in December.
I got you in 9-8.
Damn, we lost to Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, huh?
No, you beat Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay.
You lost to Cincinnati and the Bucks.
Damn, we lost to the Bucks.
I think Tampa Bay is going to be pretty good, man.
That's fair.
I'm in on Tampa Bay. That's not an anti-Dolphin stake. That's a pro Buccaneers stake.
Oh, I don't hate that. I was all Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year, and they let me down. I don't know, Marcel. We'll see. Russ, what the hell is this? Russ! Russ!
Take a lap.
Yeah. Russ!
I love that you said, you said, Russ, I love when you have a taker. I thought you just let it fly.
No, that was too extreme.
Russ said, bet.
No, that was too much. Dial it back.
What's up, Norm?
Shout out Norm and Scooter. Chatty House Celtics supporters right now. We needed the vibes.
Right. Oh my God, I forgot about Hawk Tua. Wow.
I think she disappeared.
That was by choice, though. Now I remembered again.
She did one of those scammer coin things, I think.
Yeah. So did someone else who was. Never mind. Actually,
okay. That's probably smart, Joe.
Yeah.
That's good censorship by you.
Now, back to the Insiders, brought to you by Jiffy Lube on ESPN 1320.
Shut up, Chatty House, real quick.
I love
That's
the Chatty
my
House,
favorite
bro.
part of the show.
I love the Chatty
For
House.
5 years, I've just been hanging out with the Chatty House.
We're, of course, on 1320 AM and 98.5 FM HD2 on your radio. But we're also on YouTube at youtube.com/ESPN1320 and twitch.tv/ESPN1320. The Chatty House on YouTube is just popping.
Yeah.
It's incredible stuff. I have such a good time.
The Chatty House got range. We're talking about NFTs, Colts. Aldrin J asked about the Warriors meeting expectations.
Viral
Just
video
everything.
sensations.
Yes.
That's a good question. Did the Warriors meet expectations? I think they surpassed them a little bit. Going to the second round, especially with how they looked early in the year, getting Jimmy Butler, winning a playoff series was probably the goal.
Yeah. I think they maximized what this season was. I'm very curious to see what it looks like next year because I think this offseason is going to look real curious for them or just real intriguing for them. But yeah.
I think they're kind of screwed long term, though. We were talking about this the other day with the Kings.
Like long term post Steph Curry?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So we were talking about with the Kings and the lottery and all that. Somebody in the chat, or a couple of people in the Chatty House were saying, is there a team that's worse off over the next 3 years right now than the Kings in the West? It's like I kind of think Golden State is. Now here's what I'll say. Let's eliminate the next 3 years aspect of this because I'm done doubting what Steph Curry is and will do and how long he's going to play.
Okay.
He's magnificent. So I'm just going to not put a lid on it.
Yeah, as long as Steph Curry is around and the Warriors add pieces, like just solid pieces around him, like I'm always going to think they have a chance.
So here's why I think Golden State is cooked in the post-Steph Curry era. Joe Lacob, in an article, believe it was in The Athletic. I read a couple different things today, so apologies. I will find the correct article and make sure to attribute this properly. Here's what he said. Quote, "Our drafts were not bad at all. These guys are very young. They've had to fit into a very difficult situation with experienced players. It's not like they can just go out and put up numbers. So I think we've drafted very well. We've got some good young players."
Okay, can I answer this quote or ask a question?
Yeah, please.
So is he expecting these young players to just step up once the other guys are gone, or?
Yes. The start of that quote was that next year there's going to be a leap from the young guys. Let's just run through this. It's Brandon Pajemski, who at the start of next season is 22 years old. I think Brandon Pajemski is a really good player. I don't think he's ever going to be an all-star.
Feels right.
Okay. All right. Jonathan Kuminga will be 23 at the start of next season. He's also a restricted free agent who may or may not be around.
Jonathan Kuminga, I would be shocked if he's still a Warrior next season.
I'd be stunned. Unless they're going to uproot their entire offense and cater it toward him, which they're not going to do as long as Steph Curry's on the team. I can't imagine he's still around unless Joe Lacob just puts his foot down and says, no, to hell with that. Jonathan Kuminga is going to be a Warrior.
And I think that'd be a mistake as well.
We'll see. Moses Moody's 23 years old and for some reason just can't crack the regular rotation.
Yeah, watching from the outside looking in on the Warriors, it's kind of like seeing you guys like, hey, Moody. Oh, no. Moody? No.
Oh, hey, he's cooking.
Yeah.
Good last 10 games. Oh, no, now he's out of there.
It's only ever been just lapses.
It's so weird. And then Quentin Post and Trace Jackson-Davis are both 25 at the start of next year. I don't think any of those guys are going to be all
players at best.
Your best shot at an all-star there is Jonathan Kuminga, who may or may not be on the team. And that disconnect, I believe that after Steph Curry and Steve Kerr and Draymond Green and everybody are gone, I think you're going to see Joe Lacob. Like we talk a lot about Vivek Ranadive up here and his meddling in basketball affairs, right?
Mhm.
We talk about that all the time. I think that's going to be Joe Lacob, but to a massive, massive extreme. Where
it's even worse.
Yes. And I don't trust his basketball acumen whatsoever.
I don't want to take away all the credit in the world, but do you think that he's in a way just been eating off of Steph, Clay, just this whole era for so long where he's kind of been able to just do whatever because of those guys?
I don't want to say that necessarily.
Yeah, maybe that's an extreme way to put it, but
because he's shelled out the money.
Yeah.
He's given Steve Kerr a very long leash. He tried to retain Bob Myers and couldn't. They're not here. I don't think, at least at the level they reached without Joe Lacob, because you might have run into an owner that was like, I'm not paying all that tax. I'm not doing all that.
And I mean more in a sense where, like, yeah, he's been kind of meddling maybe, or just kind of having his hands in the cookie jar, but like Steph and all these guys are here, so we're winning, so you don't really pay attention to it, you know?
Yeah, that's what the last, I don't know, 5 years it felt like, where it's very much two sides. That's what it feels like anyway. Again, I'm very much on the outside.
Yeah.
Just from reading tea leaves and stuff. That's kind of what it feels like. I just the vibe I get is that post Steph Curry is going to be really, really dark times in Golden State. I don't buy into the idea that, like, oh, they're just going to fall backwards into a Luka Doncic like talent, just like the Lakers. I don't think they're that. They've had a really nice run, but this is not a franchise that is like the Lakers, who have been popular forever and have been winning forever. Or the Celtics, who have been popular forever and winning forever. They've been really awesome across a 10 or so year stretch.
How people talk about the Sacramento Kings all the time is how people used to talk about the Warriors before Steph and those guys got
here. They were a joke.
Yeah, you were getting free tickets anywhere you could get them, Oakland Library, whatever.
Yeah, they had the We Believe season.
Yeah.
And then that's at least in my lifetime. That was it. All my friends growing up in the Bay Area were Kings fans, because the Kings were awesome when we were 10, 11, 12 years old.
Yeah.
Nobody rocked with the Warriors.
Yeah, like the Warriors aren't this historical franchise that's been a perennial winner, even just had a bare minimum like playoff type sustained success.
So that's where I don't, and I could definitely be wrong on this, but when I look at where Golden State is at now and just reading some of the tea leaves with their ownership, I think they're in trouble. At least long term.
I agree with that. Long term, what do you think it looks like with Jimmy and Steph next season? I'm kind of looking at Kuminga as the guy where maybe there's a GM around the league where it's like he just doesn't have the right opportunity there, and he could be a star for us here.
That's what it looked like.
And like we'll give up something for that. I think that the Warriors definitely need a third guy next to Steph and Jimmy if they're going to maximize this window.
I'm sorry, real quick. What Kuminga news did we miss?
I don't think we missed anything. It was what you mentioned earlier about how he's going to be a free agent.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought
we went off the air for a second. You made the face. I was like, oh no.
Well, I just saw this text from a while ago that was talking about
false alarm. We're good.
Could have just completely. Okay, we're good.
We're good.
I surrendered for a second there. I was like, oh my gosh.
That's my bad.
That was terrifying.
What'd you
so
ask
scary.
Me? I was talking about Jimmy and Steph. They need a third guy to maximize Steph's last window. Like, what do you think you can get trading Kuminga?
Okay, so this is where it would have to be a sign and trade.
Yeah,
and
he doesn't make that much right now.
Yeah, and I don't know if he would be amenable to that. I don't know if another team would be amenable to that. Like, they could just sign the guy.
Yeah.
And not have to give up an asset for,
No, yeah, like.
So I don't know exactly.
Warriors,
I don't know that Joe Lacob will let him. That's my question. I think Joe Lacob loves Jonathan Kuminga. I think Joe Lacob was watching these playoffs and was like, successful playoffs because look at what JK did in the second round. That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah, that's an issue because he clearly just doesn't fit with this group right now for what the player he wants to be.
It's not a coincidence that he fits when Steph Curry doesn't exist anymore, and their offense is like, hey, we need anyone to just create a shot. It wasn't ball movement. It wasn't motion. It wasn't dribble handoffs. It was, all right, Jonathan Kuminga is going to ISO, and he's going to athlete his way to the basket, which he did very effectively. He was awesome. I just don't think they're going to play that style.
Draymond Green is a lifer as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
At this point, yeah. The fact that they signed him to that 4-year, $100 million deal a couple years ago, you've committed now.
Was that a mistake?
There's no, yeah, probably. At least I think so. Just given what I think they need, he's still really good defensively.
Yeah.
But is that? We all see it. I don't think the juice isn't worth the squeeze anymore, man. And I think it's going to be a bigger problem than a solution, if that makes sense.
No, I agree with that.
So, anyways, the Warriors are in a spot that's not great. And so when we're talking about the next 3 or 5 years,
you better enjoy him, pal. As long as Steph Curry's there, enjoy it.
I'm trying. I'm doing my best. Man, speaking of enjoying it,
still here.
The Celtics beat the Knicks 127-102 last night. That's Jesse Tapia, by the way. I'm Kyle Madsen. Joe Brazil is the producer. We are the Insiders, and we're sponsored by Jiffy Lube here on ESPN 1320, Sacramento sports leader. Celtics are freaking good last night, man.
Yeah, that was their best game of the series so far. Going into it, I was still pretty torn up about the Tatum stuff.
It's awful.
Going into the game, I was like, it's just over today.
Mm-hmm.
And they're playing well. I didn't really yell during the game or give out an audible cheer till about maybe the third quarter. It's like, oh, they might actually win this or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was their best game of the series. I think they played with a lot of purpose offensively yesterday. It wasn't ISO or anything like that. Not saying that they're better off without Tatum or anything like that, but you need everyone to step up. You needed Sam Hauser to hit a couple threes. You needed Peyton Pritchard to do his thing. You needed all hands on deck without Tatum, and they got it.
Let me ask you this. Was that a team galvanizing around Jason Tatum's absence, or was that a team that went, hey, these pieces are all going to fit together because when I step into this role and he steps into that role and I step into that role, this is going to work better?
It's a little bit of both, I think.
I'm not trying to, when things get tight down the stretch of games or even early in games, it's not like, oh, we have to get it to Jason.
Yeah.
And he's got to do everything. It was a more democratic type of offense.
I think it was a little bit of both because Derek White, that's not surprising to me what he did. Jaylen Brown either.
Of course.
Those guys, Sam Hauser is an elite 3-point shooter. I think the one where you kind of point out, I was like, wow, that was kind of insane, was Jay in the chat. Luke Cornett, he was a beast yesterday.
He was unreal.
That was his best game of the season, probably his best game as a Celtics. That's where you do need the, oh wow, look at that guy, the luck kind of.
Yeah.
And I think the Knicks, they kind of got away from that yesterday too. Josh Hart was 4 or 5 from 3. And I'm like, all right, the Knicks got because in elimination games, you normally get a performance from this role player or whatever. It was this guy's on fire, and you keep going to him. Josh Hart started passing up open threes after that, and I think that hurt the Knicks a lot. They just stopped going to what was working.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if I don't want to say they froze up, but like I said, Josh Hart should have shot the ball a lot more. Brunson, the 5 fouls in the third quarter was tough, but I mean, they kept showing the replays. They looked like fouls to me.
They were definitely fouls. The last one, the fifth one, where he clearly whacked whoever it was across the arm. Might have been White. Doesn't matter. Clearly got him on the arm. And this is my least favorite thing is when NBA player immediately does the review motion, and then you see a replay and they hacked him.
Yeah.
I hate that so much.
You got a great Mitchell Robinson game too.
So annoying.
Kind of not wasted it, but missed out on a win though.
The Celtics defensively were really good last night.
Yeah, they were great.
You hold that Knicks starting 5 to 80 points, I will take that every single time because that bench is not super deep.
And also, Kristaps Porzingis is unplayable at this point. Just keep him on the bench.
Yeah, what the hell happened?
He can't. Joe Mazzulla said he didn't play him in the second half because he just can't breathe out there. He has an upper respiratory illness that he's dealt with all year. They can't.
I feel like that's only a Kristaps Porzingis thing.
Yeah, they can't diagnose, I guess, what it exactly is or how to fix it. So he's had these games throughout the season where Kristaps is out today. This has been all season thing for him. And at this point, it's just don't even play him. He can't. He's not good right now.
What's your confidence level that the Celtics can come back from 3-1 down?
I'm at a 5 because you're still missing Jason Tatum. I think it is heavy losing a player like that.
Yeah.
Respect the Knicks. I think they can win game 6.
Mm-hmm.
They were in it yesterday until Jalen Brunson ran into foul trouble.
Yeah.
I think if Cat plays a lot better in game 6 and all that, I can see it happen. I'd say I'm at a 5 right now. But if the Celtics win game 6, it's at a 10. The Knicks aren't winning game 7 in Boston. I had no chance.
Didn't that happen with the Heat, though? A couple years ago where the Heat came into Boston and won a Game 7 after being up 3-0.
Jason Tatum sprained his ACL in the first 5 seconds of that game.
And Jason Tatum is out.
Brother, I'm a sports fan. Why are you trying to be rational with me right now? What are you doing? What are you doing?
I do want to ask you about this because I was going to talk about this with James yesterday, but decided to push it just because of the Jason Tatum aspect of it. The NBA is not going to change its 82-game schedule. I would be floored if the NBA or any other league ever went to fewer games.
Where is this coming from?
The NBA postseason injury thing is, I think, going to be something that the league explores at some point. And they're not, the solution is never going to be, cut down the regular season. Even if everybody agrees that's what they have to do, it should be 70 games or whatever people say. They're not going to do that. I think they can change their playoff schedule, though.
Yeah.
Where Golden State played Game 7 against Houston, and for whatever it was, like 2 weeks, we're playing games 90, 91, 92, 93 every other day. And I think that's where the NBA runs into trouble. You're going to have this 82-game season, but then you're going to try and truncate playoff series to make sure that you're getting your season done by mid-June. That to me is where the problem really lies, because it's an uptick in physicality. It's an uptick in just intensity of the games. You're getting fewer days off. One of those days off, you're traveling. Like it is just a grueling schedule where the NBA playoffs now become more a war of attrition than like matchups and who's the best team. And it really feels like a lot of series have come down to, Dame Lillard got hurt. Steph Curry got hurt. Jason Tatum got hurt. Yeah, last year it was OG Anunoby.
But how many of those
Giannis has dealt with it?
How many of those things are just like that just happens? Like Dame Lillard got blood clots. Tatum.
And then tore his Achilles.
Oh, yeah, huh? I forgot he came back about that. Yeah, that's true.
So he tore his Achilles. Steph Curry, hamstring. Jason Tatum, Achilles.
Oh, yeah.
It to me, maybe it is a massive coincidence this year, but I really think the NBA is going to have to look at it because you have so many stars who are not effective or not playing in these playoff games.
And then I think I do what you suggest and just spread out the playoffs and the travel days. Like, just give teams more in time. Because, like, how are you going to, not you, but just NBA, whoever, like, we got to shorten up the schedule. You just told me a couple years ago that we needed everyone to play 65 games a year to be able to go for these awards.
Right.
No, just spread out the playoffs then at this point.
Yeah, just own the summer. Mm-hmm. Take the finals into July if you need to.
Yeah, you're not You're not competing with the NFL.
Yeah, there's nothing going on.
Yeah.
I prefer it. Anyways. That was just when the Tatum injury happened. It's like, man, this is just, and then you go look and you see Tatum plays a ton of games and just,
he does not miss
the intensity level. I think if the NBA wants to do something, that's the easy fix to me. Just make the playoffs take a couple extra weeks, get a couple extra days off, and make sure that teams are healthy. Or try and do your best to make sure teams are healthy.
Like you said, they don't have no reason, like a reason not to.
Yeah. The NFL schedule release was yesterday. One of the worst traditions in sports comes with the NFL schedule release. So I'll tell you what it is. That's Jesse Tapia. I'm Kyle Madsen. Joe Brazil's with us. We're the Insiders, sponsored by Jiffy Lube. You're on ESPN 1320 at Sacramento Sports Center.
Between Kyrie, Tatum, Lillard, and all these guys, I can be getting it mixed up, David. Everyone's turning something. I'll take a lap, though.
I agree with this, Drew.
This is very random. I scored 35 runs against a dude on MLB The Show the other night, and I promised I'd shout him out. So here it is. Shout out to Jay Dow. He got dropped off. That's all.
I promised I'd shout this guy out for dragging him in a game.
He was cool. He was a super cool guy. He messaged me afterwards. He's like, bro, you killed it. I'm like, you know what? Shout out to that guy. So
I wish I had that mindset. If somebody scores 35 runs on me in a video game, that person's dead to me.
Is this person your friend? Bro, what are you sticking around getting your ass kicked for 35 runs?
Crazy.
Turn it off.
That's absolutely
I know.
crazy.
That was the craziest part. I
Go
think
play another game.
he
Like,
gave up after like 20 runs, and then he just let me keep scoring runs. I was like,
But
this
why?
is a cool guy. I had a great time.
Bro, you get to double digits on me, I'm out.
you get to
I'm
5.
quitting.
Like, no, I'm not. I don't care enough to, like,
Exactly.
they don't have
Like,
no
you
love of the
won.
game for this.
Like, hey, man, you won. Like, I'm not going to win this one.
I'm
Nice
gonna
job.
play the next game
Yeah.
with the next guy, or I'm going to go outside or something.
Hey, this is it.
Yeah, exactly, Judean.
Rage
Rage
quit.
quit like a respectable
That's it.
person. You never heard of 21 Skunk?
He was a
Pass
cool
the
guy.
stick.
Yeah,
Shout
FIFA
out to
3-0.
Jay
I'm
Dow.
quitting this. I'm going to go play against a computer on
Yeah.
easy mode, and I'm going to score 50 runs.
There
Joe
you
shouting
go.
him out, but sorry, brother. Like, quit next time.
Hey, look.
Hey,
Celtics
man.
next.
Oh, this is
Oh,
hey,
well,
turn it
oh
off. It's
my
a Tatum
God.
game. Turn it off. It's a Tatum game. Turn it off. Turn it off.
That's the thing. Like, my stats look crazy now. So it was awesome.
The hell was that?
We thought we were going to watch a
Yeah, Chatty House. We thought they had the game on yesterday. It was the Tatum game they had on NBA TV right now.
I was like, oh, Celtics Knicks. And then the first shot they show is Jason Tatum in uniform.
Wait, why is he in uniform?
Oh, no. 6.5 minutes left. Turn it off.
Zay, we'll just wait till the fourth quarter. Damn.
Damn, bro. I would like to address this. All right, we'll just
Shout out Derwin James.
love Derwin
Yeah,
James. Come on,
NFL.
Derwin, let's go. University of Bridgeport commencement speaker. I think that's going to be one of my like big picture professional goals.
To be a
or
commencement
life
speaker.
goals. Yeah, at Sac State.
Nice.
I wonder what I would have to accomplish to get there.
I don't think
Like
I think you need to know
Express
about prize.
interest.
like where
Express interest.
where we're at in our professions. Like me and Derwin James are pretty close, right?
Yeah, Kyle.
Like pretty close.
Yeah, pretty close.
I don't know.
I think you can make that happen.
I truthfully think you can too. Like
I'm
I was
gonna
saying,
doubt you.
Local
show-
part-time media personality.
show them that you're interested.
Okay.
Go from there. Plant that little seed, you know?
I'm going to commencement on Friday. Salute to the homie Frank.
Shout out Frank.
Hey, graduated. Nice job, Frank. Can't wait.
Shout out to the 2020 graduates. Didn't get a
Full rebuild prediction percentage.
oh.
Mark, I feel like this is a good question. I just don't quite understand it. What do you?
Any
What do you mean
percentage
by
that you
this?
think that they blow it up or rebuild? Maybe.
Like
Like if I were
like
to
a
answer that,
100% rebuild is they trade everybody, or like I'm 100% sure they're going to trade everybody.
I think that, yeah. Like where they are going to trade everybody, maybe. Mark, what did you mean? Yeah, Mark says that, yeah.
I don't really see
Maybe
Mike Trout
confidence
being
in
on
them
the
rebuilding,
Giants.
I guess. Confidence in them doing a full rebuild.
Oh,
I would put that at about
35%.
I'd go 20.
Ooh,
He only went for one semester. I
yeah.
heard.
I feel like it didn't Ryan Coogler actually go there?
Yeah, he played on the football team.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I mean, Tom Hanks, if we want to count that one semester, but I go Ryan Coogler.
Yeah, salute to Tom Hanks, Sac State legend. Oh shoot. Got an underdog here. Make underdog your new favorite.
My fault. My fault.
That's such a fire slogan I came up with for them.
Shout out Sac State, by the way. That was a fun time.
Now, back to the Insiders, brought to you by Jiffy Lube on ESPN 1320.
Jesse Tapia's over there. He's filling in for James Ham. I'm Kyle Madsen. That's Joe Brazil. I can't believe we're 45 minutes into this show. Hang on, 44, 47,
2 more seconds.
58. I can't believe we're 45 minutes into this show, and we have not shouted out James Ham, whose birthday it is today.
Happy birthday, James Ham.
I'm a winner.
Shout out to James Ham.
Shout out James.
He is celebrating his birthday in a beautiful part of the state of California with his family. I'm sure he's going to have a great weekend.
Absolutely.
Hope he got there safe.
Absolutely. We appreciate you, James, and we are happy for you. Go relax. Have a good day.
Hell yeah.
Shout out.
I have a
real quick. We were talking about. Time. Oh wow. Wow, James Ham. Wow. James Ham on Demon Time. Who knew?
We don't touch other people's privates.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's a life lesson.
That's a good rule of thumb.
It's a crazy ass drop.
It was like our second ever show.
We're talking about Tom Hanks' sex state loves real quick. David Jackson, I don't know if this is true. Says Tom Hanks and I were in a film class together at Chabot College. True story. Chabot?
Yeah.
He says true story, so I believe it. And then
I'll choose to believe it.
Cool Raul says George Lopez also went to Sac State.
Did he really?
That. I didn't know that. I don't know if he's lying or not. They never said that.
No way.
Cool Raul, are you lying?
I feel like he's lying.
I'll look that up right now.
That feels like a thing that a lot of people would talk about.
Maybe he did a show at Sac State.
Might have.
I'm just getting like he was at Hard Rock this year. I remember that.
Damn. I guess I got chatty housed maybe.
No, you didn't. Because you immediately refuted it.
Okay, sounds good.
We were watching Derwin James give a commencement speech at Bridgeport University, and I was saying I wanted to be a commencement speaker at Sac State someday. That's a little professional goal for me. And then we started talking about famous Sac State alums. I think I'm top 1,000.
That feels, yeah.
Because there's a lot of business people and very successful.
You're on the radio.
Yeah, in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Top 1,000 feels right to me.
That counts.
I feel good. I feel good about that.
Are you closer to 5? Like, are you on the good side of 500 or the bad side of 500 though?
Oh, way on the bad side.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm closer to 1,100 than 500. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh no.
You still made the list though.
Oh, I'm on the list. Top 1,000 isn't bad.
Yeah, it's like when you're playing Little League Baseball, you want to hit top 9 because if you're not, then sorry.
I'm not begrudging that one bit. What's wrong with hitting 9th?
Well, I'm saying that's if you're hitting 9th, that's cool. If you're hitting 10th, sorry, kid.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
If you're hitting 10th and playing right field, you're not gonna make it.
There's nothing worse than when I was playing slow pitch softball a lot in Arizona, because in Arizona the leagues don't stop. Every league's doubleheaders, and your championship is Wednesday, and your next season starts the following Wednesday. Playing like 3 nights a week. So every once in a while you'd run into a team and you'd go play for them, play for like a new team. But every single time, without a doubt, you're batting last, and you're playing right field. It's like, brother, you wanted me to play. You know I can hoop.
Yeah.
Like, you know I can do this sport. And then sure enough, after 2 games, batting 3rd or 4th and playing shortstop.
I haven't made it out to the adult league softball yet.
Good.
See, if I ever
return more things going on.
Well, if I ever return to sports, it'll be like some Sunday league soccer or something like that.
Yeah, that's probably smart.
Yeah. One day.
One day. Hey, real quick, before we get to the NFL schedule release, the NFL is going to vote on whether NFL players can participate in flag football in the 2028 Olympics.
I love this, and I hope they vote yes.
They have to.
Yeah.
You absolutely have to vote yes on this.
See, but don't say your thoughts, because I got a point that might kind of bring it down.
It's flag football. NBA players go and play in the Olympics in a real version of their sport that is contact and all that. NFL players should be playing in the Olympics. If the NFL is hell-bent on making its game international, and they really look like they're angling to have a team either in Mexico City or in Sao Paulo or somewhere in Europe, it really seems like they're angling toward that eventuality.
Yeah.
If you're going to do that and have all this international push, and you're going to have the Vikings playing in Dublin, Ireland, and in London the next week, and you've got Berlin, and you've got Madrid, and you've got all these places. If you then back out of representation in the Olympics, why?
Well, okay. Yes, you send representation, but we're not sending you Justin Jefferson or anything like that either. Is my thing.
Why not if Justin Jefferson wants to play?
Because Justin Jefferson is the highest paid wide receiver NFL player of all time down there. And like, if this guy cuts wrongly playing flag football, like, what are we doing? Like, and I don't think the NFL owners, knowing how they're about their money and all that, will let those guys go. I think you'll get NFL players, but you'll get maybe the 3rd string running back on his team. Yeah, stuff like that. Players like that, where we can afford, hey, all right. Wouldn't that same logic apply to NBA players? Like Steph and LeBron and KD are all 50 and they played in the Olympics this year. Yeah, there's a history and more honor to that, I think.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So you're taking this from the standpoint of like the dream team set up the I guess like standard.
Like going to the Olympics, like that matters, like that's something we all rally around that. I don't know how much going to the Olympics means to these NFL owners against their money, getting their money. Like this is a new thing. Like I'd be shocked if they're sending Justin Jefferson and those guys out there.
So you think they vote yes, but with caveats?
Yes, but Jordan Mason's going to be the running back for Team USA. Yes, but Isaac Orendo can play.
Yeah, I don't.
That's how you'll get NFL players, I think.
Man, I hope they vote yes.
Maybe you could send a quarterback out there because, like, somebody you're standing in the pocket, just letting it fly. So that works. Maybe you send Lamar Jackson or whoever to play quarterback, but I'm not sending anyone who's highly paid on my team to go run routes against Team Japan.
I don't. This is literally. I say this from a complete place of ignorance. I have no idea. I don't. If the NFL isn't participating and players aren't able to represent different countries out of the NFL, does England have a flag football team like ready to go? Or
I saw something about each team having a designated international player for this or something like that. I think that was in the stuff they were talking about, where that'd be part of it. I don't know how that would work though.
Yeah, I have no idea.
They do have programs like
if you're eliminating the NFL player pool, I wonder if like they must the Olympic Committee wouldn't have approved flag football if they didn't think they could get teams without the NFL.
Yeah, well, no, there's football leagues like I mentioned in Japan. I think there's like leagues out there, like they play football everywhere else. You'll just get those guys, but I think it's a matter of you want the American players out there too, the NFL guys.
I hope they do.
But yeah, if they do vote yes, I don't think we're seeing like the top of the top NFL players out there.
I bet we do, man.
You think so?
Yeah,
I'd be kind of shocked. That'd be
the first ever the Olympics. They're in LA, right? 2028.
Yeah.
So they're going to be in LA. It's the first time ever. It's players' opportunity to represent their country. Which anytime you hear team sport athletes talk about that, they talk about how important it is. Cool opportunity for international exposure.
I agree with you. I'd love to see them out there, but I just knowing how the NFL works, I'd be kind of shocked. Like I said, I think we're going to send NFL representation, but here is whoever is just not a top player.
I guess.
We'll see.
All right.
Sorry, I told you I was going to rain on your parade.
No, I guess that's okay. Whatever. So you're a thumbs down on it. No, it's cool.
I'm a thumbs up, but also, hey, know what we might be getting into.
The best players representing Team USA at the Olympics. No, that's fine. That's cool, man. Maybe we can just go back to having college players play basketball too. I don't know.
Wow, I'm sorry. Kyle Madsen lashing out.
That was the other thing watching Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Is I was a little bit worried about Team USA moving forward after this year, Team USA men's basketball. Because, man, no Steph, no KD, no LeBron, no Carmelo.
Who knows what Jason Tatum's going to look like post-Achilles?
And is Jason Tatum going to want to play for Team USA?
Yeah.
But the way Anthony Edwards looked in this series, I feel a lot better about it. I feel a lot better. Anthony Edwards, Cooper Flagg, hopefully Jason Tatum.
I think the whole, USA's in trouble, that's the wrong conversation to have about it. I think the conversation to have is all these other countries are finally catching up now and they're here. France, like it's not about the USA is losing. It's just France is just that good now.
Yeah,
like these other teams are they've caught up
for sure. You know where I have not caught up? Underdog, because I just keep on losing. NBA playoffs, I've been getting cooked. I have no feel for any of the series, but you already know that I'm going to have a lineup tonight for Game 6 between Oklahoma City and Denver. I'm going to put a lineup together, even if I'm catching an L. But the good news for me is that the W is back in action. The WNBA is back. I raked it in last year, just putting Asia Wilson in my lineups and pick a stat. Pick higher.
Rebounds,
higher.
Assists,
higher.
Points,
higher.
Steals,
higher.
Shout out Asia Wilson.
She's incredible. So that was my anytime I created a lineup last year, because you can mix and match different sports. I might actually put Asia Wilson in my NBA playoff lineup too, because that's what you can do with Underdog. You can mix and match. You can put WNBA with with NBA playoffs, but they got MLB. They got all your favorite sports, all your favorite teams, all your favorite leagues. It is a ton of fun to play, and you can turn $1 into $1,000 just with your hoops knowledge. Again, that's men's or women's. Can't wait for the W to be back, and can't wait to have Asia Wilson in all my lineups, man, and Sabrina Ionescu.
You're gonna start picking winners.
And Paige Beckers.
Shut up, Paige.
Hell yeah. Download the Underdog app and sign up with promo code Kyle M to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. That's promo code Kyle M, KYLEM. Must be 18 plus and present in any state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncbgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. And in New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
There you go.
Also going to have my Golden State Valkyries. Going to have them in a bunch of lineups too. Might have to go lower though. I'm not sure the Valkyries are going to be any good.
You a Valkyries fan? Like that's your squad?
Yeah, you have to. They're local.
Yeah.
Just
Kenny's Las Vegas Aces though.
That's dope. Good for Kenny. Good team. Asia Wilson. Good player.
That's heard on that.
All right. We'll be back with NFL schedule release. One of the worst traditions in all of sports.
All right.
Just the worst. It's the worst. I hate it, and we'll talk about it. That's Jesse. I'm Kyle. That's Joe. We're the Insider, sponsored by Jiffy Lube. It's ESPN 1320, Sacramento Sports Center. Okay. What happened? Jeez. The Disney home line is so crazy. Like all their kitchen and home stuff. Just unbelievable. Anyways, let's go, Joe. Hey, what's up, Matt? Good to have you back, bro. Probably not. Yeah, make Underdog your new favorite. I came up with a slogan for them, and I keep forgetting to say it. Yeah, I would imagine so by 2028. That tattoo, by the way, is sick. In this profile picture, the paper airplane with the, is that like a F-16 under it?
Do you think you could make a functional paper airplane right now?
Yeah.
You think you could?
1,000%.
Do you have paper in there?
Yeah. Miranda.
Do you need a blank sheet?
No, I'll just make one with my rundown.
Okay. I was wondering about this yesterday. I was like, man, I don't.
Functional paper airplane. It's not going to win a contest.
Well, it's been a long. When's the last time you made a paper airplane? Well, it's been a while.
It has
right?
been a hot minute.
Okay.
But this is riding a bike, bro.
Okay.
Come on. Jesse, you missed Joe disrespecting the hell out of me. Yeah. He thinks I can't make a paper airplane.
What's your issue with the boy, Joe?
And Kyle asked
me to
explain Skibbity Toilet the other day, so I guess
I don't even know what that. What is that?
We're even now. I was like, Kyle, you realize that I'm not that young.
What is
I didn't know the age. I didn't know the
Skibbity
age.
Toilet.
It's
for what? That's the right thing.
It's like children show things.
I believe, based on what I've read on the internet, that it is toilets with human faces that fight zombies.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, see, I knew you'd know.
I do know. I'm going to be honest.
But no, so we had to ask Justine because Justine has actual young people in her home.
Yeah.
And
We're calling them young people, not kids. Yeah.
Her kids in her home. And so I said, what's the deal with Skibbity Toilet? And she was like, oh, that's like a 3rd to 6th grade kind of thing. So, not Joe's age.
And you don't watch this toilet?
I do not watch Skibbity Toilet, for the record.
number 2. I'm Kyle Madsen. That's Jesse Tapia. Joe Brazil is with us. We're hanging out with you until noon. Then we will hand it off to D'Lo and Casey. This program is sponsored by Jiffy Lube. Jesse Tapia in for James Ham. That's what I was trying to remember to say.
Yeah, you just built a paper airplane. You want to see if that
I
thing
did.
flies?
So I built a paper airplane. If you'd like to see it, it's on youtube.com/ESPN 1320. Broadcasting live, of course, on YouTube and Twitch. We're also live on ESPN 1320 AM, as well as 98.5 FM HD2.
Yeah, we'll need an IV in the chatty house. That is a clean ass paper airplane, though. Maybe he might clear it, but I think clean.
I made it out of the rundown.
No, actually, that
tells
does
you how I
look
feel about today's show.
aerodynamic.
Thanks. Okay, so Jesse, heads up. I'm going to try and throw this.
Yeah, go.
And hopefully it makes it to the other camera. Well, I was going to throw it to where it
show the angle from back here.
Where
Maybe we could follow it.
Okay, no chance. No chance.
Throw it. That kind
Oh,
of.
I didn't. That was not good. That was not good.
throw it.
I don't know.
That was tough.
That was like the plane Doug Christie was trying to fix this season.
Can you hand me that plane real quick?
Here, I'll get a better angle for you guys.
Oh, that was much. I'm sorry. I thought it was down by your feet. That's my bad. All right, hang on. I need to fix this real quick. Stand by. I think we had too much upward. This is good
thinking,
radio.
Joe. Good thinking.
Good radio. I thought we maybe had too much upward thrust on that. Oh man, now I'm way less confident in my paper airplane. Oh boy. Joe disrespected me and now he's right.
Yeah.
I'm proving Joe right.
This is summertime vibes right here. I'm so excited.
Dude, this is tough. Okay, here we go.
Yeah,
go.
Imagine it hits me in the eye. You stink.
God.
No.
Trash.
He can't build it.
So bad.
He can't build it. He can't build it. He can't.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Oh boy. All right.
Wow, that was embarrassing. That was on camera. Look at securing the Bagley. Oh wow, all caps.
Hey,
Michigan, LMAO, all caps.
Let me see my paper airplane. I'm gonna fix this. Joe, turn the camera back around. I'm gonna make this thing fly.
Okay. Oh gosh.
Here we go. Paper airplane.
Throw it at me. Go ahead.
Paper airplane. Got it where I need to go. Let's go.
That one went further. Give you that.
That was definitely the plane Doug Christie was working on this season.
Oh my.
So Joe was right.
I wish I had my rundown so I can figure out what we're going to talk about. Oh, NFL schedule. Here we go.
Yeah, that's true. You just ruined the whole rundown now.
We're back. The NFL schedule was released yesterday, and I try not to. I'm going to say this phrase, and I know that the chatty house can't handle it, but whatever. I try not to yuck yums. When people enjoy a thing, I try really hard to be like, cool, I'm glad you enjoy that thing. In fact, I'm glad people enjoy the schedule release. But the fact that we've turned the NFL schedule release into an event is insane.
It's what the NFL does.
We've known for months who the teams are going to play. Our guy Edgar said Niners with a cakewalk schedule. We've been known they were going to have a cakewalk schedule, at least based on last year's winning percentages.
Yeah, finish your point, because then I'll argue against you, because I'm clearly not going to agree with you, I guess.
So I get why, like, okay, cool, it's exciting. Where are the primetime games? When's the bye week? Any road trips? If you're a fan who travels, like, okay, where's timing on my road trip? I got a vacation to take. Thanks, Joe. I got a vacation to take. When am I going to be able to take this vacation? Like, I understand all that, and I understand why. Thank you. I understand why there's intrigue. But we've turned this into a thing where there's a television special about it. But they start leaking the schedule beforehand. So a bunch of people have their team schedules early.
Isn't that due to the excitement that the fans created, I guess, like going into this? Like before it was a thing, I know whenever the schedule would come out, like me, my dad, brother, like it's like that first bit of the NFL coming back, I guess. Like besides the draft and all that's just now the schedule's here, blah, blah, blah. It's just, I don't know. I feel like this excitement from fans, like the NFL kind of capitalized off of that maybe.
I totally agree. Why does every team have to release a fun schedule video?
That's a good point. We could talk about that.
Or they try to make it a fun schedule video.
Shout out to the Indianapolis Colts who ruined it for everybody. Had to initiate an apology.
Bro. So the Indianapolis Colts put out a schedule release video that they took down because it said it violated trademarks from
their Microsoft agreement.
Yeah, because they did a fake. What's that game called? Minecraft. Yeah, they did a fake Minecraft video. I was looking at Joe. I was like, Joe, help. No, they did a fake Minecraft video. And I guess it violated their agreement with Microsoft, but also in there, for their game against the Dolphins, they showed a Minecraft version of Tyreek Hill jumping in the ocean and swimming and getting caught by
the Coast Guard rolled up on him.
And seeming to make light of him getting arrested outside of Miami Stadium last season.
Yeah. Tyreek Hill said it didn't bother him or whatever, but yeah.
So Tyreek Hill said they shouldn't take this down on my account. It's not that serious. I thought it was funny. Well, apparently they took it down because of their Microsoft agreement, but whatever. The Chargers, actually, they also did a Minecraft schedule release, but they played Minecraft and they built the entire world. They didn't do a fake version of it. They did like their social media person said it was like over 500 man hours that they put into this.
So
it was all done in house.
I just assumed it was their graphics people putting this all, like someone actually like
played Minecraft. They said it was like 2 or 3 people who played the game and built out their schedule.
That's fire. Shout out to them.
So that's unbelievable. That's sick. The 49ers outsourced their video and they did like an Oregon Trail type game thing. And I think the schedule release is also teasing that the 49ers are going to have a new jersey, but we can get to that.
Miami, that might be a thing for all teams then, because Miami, they're kind of hinting at that too with theirs.
Yeah, there's like a new version of the jersey coming out. I think the Niners is probably going to be like a cream color, but we'll discuss that later. Pause. And so my issue with the 49ers schedule release video is it's like an Oregon Trail type of game where Sourdough Sam is coming across all the 49ers opponents. Oh, they're Seahawks. They're flying. And then it comes up with like options, A, B, C, and D. What do you want to do? It's like, say that the faithful are greater than the 12s, or throw a fish, or a couple other things. And they chose like throw a fish. So they throw the fish and the Seahawks go down and the Niners keep going, right? It was not nearly mean-spirited enough. There were so many opportunities for jokes and like little digs at opponents, not being like overtly rude.
Yeah.
But like they come across the Rams, division opponent. As long as I've been alive, the Rams have been one of the 49ers' biggest rivals. They come across the Rams in their schedule video and they go, what do you want to do? Let them graze. And then they just keep walking. Like, no, make fun of the Rams. Make a joke about them. Be mean. This is 6 minutes of like,
So was your issue that they didn't just make it funny enough, or?
Yes.
Okay.
If you're going to make me watch a 6-minute thing to show me,
that's fair.
Because the purpose is not, hey, here's how we're revealing the schedule, because you can find it on the internet immediately. Immediately. 5:00 schedules go up on every site.
Yeah. I'm probably, if you're going to do it right.
That's it. So we've turned this into every team has to make a video, and 30 out of the 32 videos mostly suck.
Fair.
And it's like, oh man, look at what this team did. Look what this team did.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let the Chargers do whatever they want, because they're geniuses.
They do
Don't bother them. Just leave them alone.
The Titans also crush it.
Yeah,
going
Titans
down to Nashville, and they do the mini microphone, and they show non-football fans logos, and the person will just be like, the horses. And then it goes dun, 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 and it's like the Colts logo, and it says the horses.
Yeah,
like it's again, that's a way to kind of poke fun at your opponents.
But don't do it because it's like, oh, the Chargers are doing it. Like if you're some other team, like find out what works for your team, I guess. Because then you end up with something that Kyle Madsen hates, and now we're cooking you on the radio.
I was 6 minutes of
yeah, I didn't even watch.
And then a bunch of people were talking about the Niners video and how nothing happened, and the Niners then tweet like, oh, people, guess you didn't watch till the end. And then they put up a clip of the end of their own video. Like, bro, do you know why nobody watched till the end?
That means someone was feeling the heat in that social room.
Or the company who made it was feeling the heat.
That's true.
Anyways.
Yeah, I didn't even watch the Dolphins one. Once I saw the full schedule, I was like, all right, I'm good.
That's
what I needed.
That's it. I get why the schedule release is exciting. We don't have to add elements to it, because the excitement is what you talked about. I'm going to get the schedule, and I'm going to look, and I'm going to go, where are the primetime games? When are the division games? When's the bye week? What any weird travel in there? Because the Niners, if they have back-to-back road games, sometimes they'll stay on the road. Like any opportunities where they're going to do that. Like that's what you look for. And then you see it, and you're done. I don't need additional content. This is this is my job as a fan to go look.
Yeah.
And I can see it. I can look. I don't need a cutesy video unless it's going to be funny or it's going to be creative in some way.
We'll throw up a cool graphic or something.
Throw
if
up a
you
cool
need
graphic.
To. Yeah.
Don't make it boring. Don't make a video where you might take shots at the opponent if you're not going to take the shots at the opponent.
Yeah.
That's all.
Charismatic in the chat house says explaining your own joke is crazy. If you're ever at a point where you find yourself needing to explain your joke, probably just don't and just deal with the awkwardness for the time being. Because if you explain your own joke, it just makes it worse.
No, Will in the chat said, I thought they've posted a whole new video. No, sir. They posted the end of their own video.
Yeah.
Like, hey, everybody.
It's like, no, we got it. Just wasn't funny.
Yeah. Anyways. Any takeaways from the 49ers schedule for you?
No takeaways. I mean, you could play a fourth place schedule, so I'm more worried about what their wide receiver room looks like this season, stuff like that.
Sure. They're still playing 5 primetime games.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy. But their primetime games is weird because they have one against the Rams, the Thursday night game. But then their other primetime games are against the Falcons, the Panthers, the Colts.
Okay, what's going on here?
The Bears, and they
I
have
like
one more. They have one more in here. Oh, is it just 4? No, it's 2 Monday night, 2 Sunday night. Where's the other one? Panthers, Falcons, Bears. Oh, Colts. Yeah, there we go. Okay, Rams. That's our primetime games.
Those aren't necessarily like intriguing games. 49ers Bears is cool. 49ers Rams probably always take that, but
like Niners Bucks, that would have been a good primetime game.
Yeah.
Niners Bucks is a really good game last year in Tampa Bay. Niners go back to Tampa Bay this year. Could have been a fun game.
I guess you
Niners
really don't...
Texans, D'Amico Ryans going back up against the Niners.
Yeah.
Against Robert Saleh.
I guess trying to make sense of it, like the Niners don't really have many options to choose from here. And if they're a team that draws ratings, like you're going to try and get them on your TV if you're the NFL. So it's like, it is kind of slim pickings given the teams they play this season.
They open their season against the Seahawks. They close their season against the Seahawks. But because of their last place schedule, they play the last place team in the AFC North, which was the Browns. They play the last place team in the NFC East, which was the Giants.
And real quick, like Texans Niners might not be a primetime game because Texans Seahawks is a Monday night or the week before. So it's like that's where you miss out if you're the Niners, possibly.
Yeah, for sure. That's the other kind of tough stretch of schedule here, where the Niners play against the Falcons on a Sunday night, and then they play the Texans at 10 a.m. the next week, and then they're on the road against the Giants again the next week. My guess is between those 2 weeks, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Between weeks 8 and 9, my guess is they stay on the East Coast somewhere.
Yeah, it sounds right.
Whether that's the Greenbrier in West Virginia or maybe they stay somewhere in Florida. My guess is they do that because having the late start the week before into an early kick in Houston, which is their shortest road trip outside of the division this year, which is nuts. But it's a product of the schedule. And then they go back to New York for a 10 a.m. kick the following week. That's tough. And then their bye week isn't until week 14.
Yeah, looking at the schedule, it's not like a murder's row of teams or anything like that. Looking at it as a fan, you'd be like, oh, yeah, this is a pretty solid schedule for us. Like 49ers can win however many games, but like
we'll get to predictions.
Realistically, looking at the roster, like, what do you think of this football team? Brock Purdy. Who is Brock Purdy?
Don't know. His quarterback is going to get paid.
Is he?
I think they're.
Is he like kind of along the lines like where he's like Tua or like the Jordan Love types, where it's like they're not the Josh Allens or anything like that, or is he like a franchise guy where he's gonna win me some games?
I think you could argue that he's in the tier with who is the guy you said Tua and who?
Tua and Jordan Love. That was just off the top of my head. You can insert whatever quarterbacks you want there.
Yeah, he's probably in that
where they have their ability and all that, but you're gonna need to maximize the positions around them to get the most out of them.
Yeah, I think that's probably right. They should, with this schedule and their roster, even regardless of what you think of Brock Purdy, if they're healthy, which is kind of one of their roster issues, but if they're healthy, I think you're looking at a team that should pretty comfortably win 10 or 11 games and be back in the playoff mix. But again, that relies a lot on health. if Brock Purdy is better than I think he is, because I'm with you. I think he's pretty good.
Yeah.
And we saw last year, like, man, but you need the right pieces around him to really maximize. And that's the case for every quarterback or most quarterbacks.
Yeah, like for me, it's like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow. Those are the four that their talent kind of just transcends everything, and you're always gonna have a good chance, like with them playing that position.
Do we know that for sure with Joe Burrow?
I think so. They were putting up 40 last season and losing because the defense gave up 41.
Yeah, but I would argue that he's in a pretty good spot with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. That Joe Mixon for a long time.
Yeah, well, I guess we haven't been able to see it otherwise, though.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll choose to believe in what Joe Burrow is.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, we'll get to predictions. One of the last things on the Niners schedule, real quick. Got it. Thanks. One of the last things on the Niners schedule, real quick, is I always go through and I try and find like, hey, here's the toughest stretch of games.
You don't see it?
We'll get to it with predictions. I'm Kyle Madsen. That's Jesse Tapia. We still recommend the 49ers and Raiders play their schedules, but we're going to tell you how their seasons go next. That's Jesse. I'm Kyle. Joe Brazil on the ones and twos. We're the Insider, sponsored by Jiffy Lube. It's ESPN 1320 Sacramento Sports Center. Clear. No, this is not what I want. Oh, man.
Aldrin even damn near did it a few years ago, so yeah, I don't doubt that Purdy can do it. You just got to get the right guys in there.
You can sync the 49ers schedule to your work calendar or to your calendar. Also, the 49ers doing a visual refresh is so funny.
Russ, I don't even like the actual some green type.
I hope there's still emoji note out there.
Brought a couple boxes. I'm sure there's one out there. There you go, Zabel. You get it.
Fired up. Can't wait. Russ Dog asked if I had tickets yet. I do not have tickets yet.
When is that coming out?
Next week. Next Friday.
Have we seen shots of the sandwiches? Do they look as amazing in live action as they do in the cartoon?
That I don't know.
Okay.
I sure hope so, though.
I really do hope so.
That's going to be a big factor for me and how much I like the movie. It looks kind of the trailer makes it look like a shot for shot remake.
Yeah,
which I'm here for.
What are Disney movies that are that you grew up watching, Joe? Like the ones that you started out watching.
Oh, hang on. What year were you born?
2000. Oh,
that's not too far.
You were probably a Wreck-It Ralph guy.
No.
Don't be dropping a Lion King, Joe, either, just because you want to hang out with the older guys.
Okay, I got you. Is
Wreck-It
Jungle
Ralph.
Book?
Oh wow. Okay.
Which the old one,
bro?
Joe's
okay,
got.
So you're
Joe's
like
got
a
culture.
Disney
Yeah,
fan.
yeah, he's got culture.
Jungle
Never
Book.
mind.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
and then
maybe he does rock with the Lion King. Then
I didn't know that I didn't know that you were like a Disney guy. I
dabble,
but in that way.
I dabble in the Disney.
Typically, people who like you fell into the bucket of people that I associate with like they only do the new Disney stuff.
No, dude.
Oh yeah, love that for you.
Shout out, Joe.
I respect you even more.
Are
now.
you a High School Musical guy?
No.
Aldrin J. Ass says you are.
That's a no for me.
No.
I've never seen that.
I have also never seen High School Musical.
Yeah. I'm pretty good about, hey, this doesn't look like this is something I would like to watch, so I'm not going to watch this.
Emperor's New Groove. Yep, that's a good one.
Shout out.
Oh, Cars is a good one.
Oh, dude. Okay, yeah.
Cars
so like
one is cool.
Cars would
Cars
be
is
like right in the when I was just
That
getting
makes
old
sense.
enough.
There it is.
Ratatouille is fire as well.
Ratatouille is great.
Ratatouille is an excellent movie.
Now, back to the Insiders, brought to you by Jiffy Lube on ESPN 1320.
Someone in the chat house asked what my major at Sac State was. I double majored in mass communication studies and journalism.
Yeah, shout out to the journalism majors.
Oh yeah, we're out here.
Shout out communications minors.
A pro tip, by the way, if you're a person considering, if you're a young person considering going to college, or if you have a young person in your life who is considering going to college and they want to be, they want to pursue a career in journalism. First thing, I'm not going to be one of those people that goes, don't do it.
Yeah.
Like you're very unlikely going to be fabulously wealthy in this profession. But if it's something that you love and you want to do, then pursue that for sure. 100%. The pro tip for me is get that journalism minor, just tack that on as a minor so you can get the basics down of just what journalism is, get some history, get some basics on writing and stuff. And then major in anything that interests you.
It's good advice.
Like go major in if you're like, man, I love history, but I want to be a journalism major. Minor in journalism and go get that history degree, because that is going to serve you much better than a journalism degree.
Also, it helps if your significant other has a real job.
Facts.
Yeah.
Buddy.
Yeah.
Salute to our significant other.
I love you, babe.
That's my go-to. That's if I had it to do over again. I don't regret any of my time in college.
Yeah.
But I started out as a mass communication studies major because that's what I thought I needed to do to get into radio.
Yeah.
And mass communication studies is fascinating and I love it. And it's one of those things I want to go back to school and study, but I don't want to do homework. So I had a great time studying that, but I didn't need to do that. I think I would have much preferred to do history or business or something that could be applicable in a different way.
Yeah.
Because mass communication studies, while it's really interesting and it formed a lot of my opinions of news and the way media impacts our lives, it feels super outdated. A lot of what I learned because of how quickly mass communication changes.
Yeah.
Like literally the definition of mass communication was changing while I was in school.
Or now they were teaching us classes about social media and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
going to school taught me I didn't want to be a reporter. I got to go and talk to these people and be out.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, no, I'm cool.
Like actual journalists who go out and interview people and call people and are like hard Scrabble journalists.
Hey, you got to like really put yourself out there because it's like you're going to get turned down a lot just as far as trying to talk to people and just.
Yeah. We had this assignment one time. We have an assignment to predict the 49ers and Raiders records for this year, which we'll get to. But we had an assignment one time. It was a government reporting class. And the professor says, all right, you're going to go down to the state capitol. There's going to be all these committee hearings. You're going to go take notes on the committee hearing. And then you're going to stand outside the door and you're going to wait for the people to come out. And then you're going to ask them questions. And I was like, or I'm going to fail this assignment.
Exactly. Listen to this one. So I got a journalism class where you're on the beat for something, right? I'm covering a local high school football team out here. And they're playing this big game. They lose. And I need quotes.
Yeah.
But I ain't going to the game or whatever. So I'm going to email them. And I'm like, mine's like, I need quotes for the assignment or whatever.
Yeah.
So I get one. I email the coach. Doesn't email me back. And I'm emailing like they did. Like, hey, I need a quote here because this assignment's due later. It's like, they kind of lost. Like, yeah, that's true. So we got to see. But.
You didn't even go to the game?
No, bro.
All right, man.
We made it through college. We got a degree, though.
Yeah, we did.
And we're here on ESPN 1320 right now.
Right here. This is the Insiders. Jesse Tapia filling in for James Ham. I'm Kyle Matson. Joe Brazil's with us. We are sponsored by Jiffy Lube. All right, let's go through this. Las Vegas Raiders 2025 schedule. We're going to predict some wins and losses.
Shout out to the Raiders.
Shout out to the Raiders.
I got some thoughts.
I feel better about the Raiders this year than I have in a long time.
Yeah.
All right. Week 1, they're at the New England Patriots. I got them winning that game.
Yeah, I'm not ready to buy on the Patriots being anything yet. So yeah, I got them winning that one.
I think the Patriots are going to be better than they have been, but I think they're just going to look more competent. I kind of think that same thing for the Raiders. New England had a really nice offseason, but I'm going to take the Raiders in that week 1 game in New England. Pete Carroll, good coach, going to have that team fired up, ready to play week 1. Mike Vrabel, also a good coach out there in New England, but I'm going to go Raiders week 1. Then they come home and face the Chargers on Monday Night Football. I'm taking the Chargers.
I'll go Raiders because I just have them splitting.
So you have them at 2-0 now.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got them at 1-1. I should probably be writing this stuff down. At Commanders week 3, I've got a loss.
Yeah, I've got a loss as well. So I got 2-1. You got them at 1.
I've got 1-2. Home against the Bears, I've got a W. I've got them at 2-2.
Sure, I'll go W there as well.
Okay. Week 5 at the Colts, I've got another W.
See, this feels wrong because I got the Raiders at 4-1. That doesn't feel right.
I got them at 3-2.
I'm gonna go loss against the Colts.
Okay, so you've also got them at 3-2. Spoiler alert: I'm not high on the Colts this year. Week 6, home against the Titans, I've got a W. I've got them at 4-3. 4-2. 4-2.
Yeah.
I've got them at 4-2.
That feels
home against the Titans.
Feels high, but yeah, I think we both got them at 4-2 though.
I don't know, man.
The Raiders aren't starting the season 5-1 or anything like that. Like, come on, let's be real.
4-2 sounds like a lot.
It does. They could lose the Patriots game, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. Week 7 at the Chiefs, I got a loss. Go to 4-3.
Then you know what? They're gonna lose the Jags game because it's like those Raiders. Damn it, we'll go 4-4 right there. We can't just be
that's after a bye week in week 8, though.
Yeah, but like, come on, we just assuming the Raiders sometimes have these lapses, the same way my football team does.
I know how I'm gonna get there. I've got them winning that game.
Okay.
So I've got them at 5-3.
Sounds right.
I've got a loss at Denver the next week. That's 5-4. That's on Thursday Night Football in Denver, Mile High City.
Then you got in Las Vegas against Dallas on Monday night.
I've got a loss there. I've got 5-5. Okay. Then the Browns have got to win.
Should Sanders come into town?
Maybe 6-5 after beating the Browns. Then I've got a loss at the Chargers. I've got them at 6-6.
Damn, I'm getting swept.
Yeah. Got them at 6-6. They're going to win a division game. So we'll give them that home game against the Broncos. I'm going to go 7-6 with a win against the Broncos.
Okay.
In week 14. Then they're at Philly.
Lose by 30.
That's 7-7. Then at Houston. I've got a loss there. That's 7-8. Home Giants. I got to win.
And this is where like the vibes are lit because the Raiders are on the hunt graphic or whatever. They're right there near in the playoffs.
And they're going to beat the Giants in week 17. I've got them at 8-8.
Yeah. What do you got? Last game of the season, Kyle.
Sets them up for a home game
in Vegas
against the Kansas City Chiefs.
What do you got?
In Las Vegas.
Do the Raiders go to the playoffs or do they stay in the hunt? Damn.
They lose that game.
That's tough.
They lose that game.
I thought you were going the other way.
8-9. 8-9 feels right.
That's not a bad year.
No, for year one?
Yeah.
Like Pete Carroll and John Spytek?
Yeah, like John Paul's like the Raider fans in the chat. I was like, what are your guys' expectations? I feel like 8-9 would be solid.
Yeah, in that range. And if one of those division games flips or maybe they beat maybe they beat a team like Dallas.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, it's the thing in the NFL. They say like 4 games can go any other way. It's the best a bunch of plays that go
as long as I think as long as they're just not anything, as long as they're not a disaster, right? Which I don't think they will be. Like it feels like they actually have real adults in the room now. So if they go 7-10 and man, you know what? They had a blocked field goal in this game, and then another game where that bad call in overtime didn't go their way, and they went 7-10 instead of 9-8. Like, I don't think that's bad. Now, if they go 6-11 and it's like, man, how did they win 6? All right. That could be a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, Filthy McNasty Raider fan says that's exactly what he predicted. Chester Jackson says Raiders 9-8.
Yeah, 9-8 plays.
Yeah. Jay, I have them at 10-7. Steven, definitely unbiased here, 17-0.
Wow. I'm just glad they got an unbiased opinion at 17-0.
Dr. David, They know he's been down on the Raiders since they moved and all that. Has him at 4-13. Says Geno will miss some games.
Damn.
I mean,
that's a disaster scenario.
Yeah.
That's super worst case. All right. Let's go to the Niners now. Week 1 at the Seattle Seahawks against Sam Darnold. I got 1-0.
Okay.
You with me?
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, we're 1-0. So you got him sweeping the Seahawks this year, or maybe losing in San Francisco or Santa Clara? Excuse me.
We'll talk about it. I had him winning week 1 against the Seahawks.
Okay.
I think you're going to get a fired up, motivated Niners team coming out of week 1. Week 2 at the Saints, I got a W.
Yeah, that feels fair.
I got 2-0. Week 3 against the Cardinals, that's in Santa Clara. I have a loss against Cardinals.
Wow.
They always have a weird loss to the Cardinals.
Can't they have the weird loss on November 16th? I'm gonna go. I think they start 3-0.
You know what? Okay, you know what? That's fair. Okay, I'm gonna start 3-0. I got a win against the Jags. I got 4-0.
Out on Trevor Lawrence.
Week 5 at the Rams, short week. I got a loss.
Yeah,
I think the Rams are gonna be good. Then the following week at Tampa Bay,
loss.
I've got a loss.
I agree as well.
I'm high on Tampa Bay this year.
Tampa
Bay, down on Indianapolis. So I got them at 4-2. 4-2. Then they come back. I think they rally against the Falcons. I think they get a win against the Falcons. I got them at 5-2.
D'Amico Ryans.
Did
CJ Stroud pick it up this season after his kind of down year in sophomore year?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go loss there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 5-3. And then they bounce back the next week against the Giants. I got them at 6-3. I think they get the Rams at home. I'm gonna go 7-3 there.
Here's
your loss to the Cardinals. I got 7-4. Ah, man. I think this is gonna be a weird one.
No, yeah.
This is gonna be a weird one.
You think the Panthers not?
I think they get the Panthers.
Okay.
And then I think they lose the next weekend at the Browns.
Damn it. Jake Moody missed again?
I think they go to 9-4 going. Is that right? 9-4 going into their bye week? I think they go 9-4 going into the bye week.
It's a solid
with
year right there so
with
far.
a loss at Cleveland where they beat the Panthers on Monday night. They're overlooking the Browns. They got the bye week coming up, and then they get punched in the mouth in a 10 a.m. start, and it's a weird game, and they lose. That's my prediction.
It feels fine. You got to beat the Titans coming off the bye week, I assume?
Coming out of the bye week, they get the Titans. The Colts, I'm sorry, Colts fans.
Kyle does not have you guys winning a game this season.
This is too many victories. I'm gonna have to redo this.
Well, that's the whole point. We're all gonna be wrong.
That's a good.
Like I had the Miami Dolphins going at 12-5 at one point. It's like, yeah, Jess, dial it down a little bit.
Beat the Colts to get to 10-4. Oh no, and then you lose your 10-5, 11-4. Is that 11-4? Oh my God. 11-4, then lose the last two. It's 11-6. That feels like a win too many.
11-6?
Yeah, even if they lose their last two.
It does because when is Brandon Ayuk back? And how good is he going to be? And we're all in our
he's probably back. He's probably back mid-season and is a shell, at least to start.
Yeah, I think we're looking at a 10-11 would be the max, but a 10-9 win season for the Niners, I think.
I think 11 is the high end. 11 is like a lot of things went right. But yeah, I think you're probably right. 9 or 10 feels just.
I could see 11 if Brock Purdy is that dude.
I know. I could see more than that if he's that dude. I know 10 and 11 is only one win different, but it feels so different to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like the distance between 11-6 and 10-7 feels like the difference between
a lot of the times it's difference
14-3 and 11-6.
Well, yeah, like a lot of times it's the difference between winning your division and having a home playoff game compared to your wild card team who snuck in.
Okay, so what I say, even if they lost, maybe they lose to the Seahawks in week 1.
Aldrin Dre asked in the chatty house, does 11 wins get you the division? How good do you think the Rams are going to be? I think is the answer to that question.
I think the Rams are going to be really good.
Yeah.
I think the Rams win like 12 or 13 games.
So, yeah, 11 wins does not.
No.
According to our thoughts on the Rams, then.
I'm going to pick the Rams to win the division, but I think the Niners get 10 wins in a wild card spot.
That feels right. I don't think Kyle Shanahan's there. Like, they're always going to be. KC talks about this on Dealer with KC. Like, he wants them to be this just perennial, like almost like the Steelers, where you're just winning games. You might not necessarily be a Super Bowl contender that year, but you're always just in the mix, possible potential playoff team. Like I think that could be the 49ers this season.
Yeah.
Where like they're not as good as they once were, but Kyle Shanahan is there. They have structure. Brock Purdy's playing well. Like they're just
they still have Nick Bosa. They still have Fred Warner.
Great players and stuff. So
the two hinge points with the Niners season. I mean, there's one that's the hinge point with every team. It's health. But you mentioned the Brandon Ayuk factor. What does Christian McCaffrey look like?
Yeah, they keep telling us he's healthy now.
Isaac Guerrero, very sneaky. Like he was good last year. He showed flashes, but very sneaky. Got hurt in like every game he played substantial snaps in. So that's a major question mark. Trent Williams has not played a full season with the 49ers yet. So you have to pencil in 3 or 4 missed games for him. And I know that all of these things are every team deals with injuries, but with the 49ers, it feels especially dire because they just don't have the depth. At least it doesn't look like it. That's the other hinge point. Are their rookies any good? Can Michael Williams play? Can Alfred Collins play? Can CJ West play? That's the 3 defensive linemen they drafted. If they can all hoop and they can all play, and there's a couple of those guys who are starters and another one who's a good rotation player, okay, then they're cooking with gas.
That's kind of what sped up the Rams progression.
Exactly. Yes. That's why I believe in the Rams this year. Because the Rams just overhauled their defense in like one offseason. 49ers trying to do the same thing. And I when it comes to rookies and contributions, it's a massive question mark.
Yeah, you can never depend on them until they're actually doing the damn thing.
Yeah, because maybe there's an undrafted guy. Corey Kiner, the running back they drafted. Hey, maybe he's just better than Jordan James, the running back they drafted. Maybe. So they're relying a lot on their rookie class. They're relying a lot on good health. And if they don't get good health, then you're probably looking at something closer to like 7 or 8 wins. And if the rookies aren't any good.
Yeah, you just said something real quick about the rookies that kind of caught my brain right there. Like, Kyle Shannon isn't necessarily the biggest proponent to playing rookies, is he? Like, it feels like hearing over the years, like Kyle Shannon's like, if you're not doing it the way I want it, then you can't be out there.
I think that's very specific to like wide receivers and running backs.
Okay, that makes sense though. So if we're depending on the rookies here, like Shannon's just I needed it done a certain way, then I wonder how successful it's going to be. But if it's just running backs and wide receivers, then yeah, I got that.
That's my concern with a guy like Ricky Pearsall, who even before he got shot last year, which is just insane. Even before he got shot last year, he had a hamstring injury that kept him out of camp. And then when he came back, he had a shoulder thing and he couldn't play in preseason and was wearing a non-contact jersey in practice and then plays 11 games and he had these flashes. But like we saw Dante Pettis have an awesome rookie year 2 and then fall off the map. How does Ricky Pearsall adapt in year 2 where, hey, you know what? You're going to have a bigger role now. Or the expectation is that you have a bigger role now. Because they might go into the regular season with Juwan Jennings as wide receiver 1. DeMarcus Robinson, the veteran wide receiver they signed, 3-game suspension he could be facing. He might be out for 3 games. Brandon Ayuk, no idea if he's going to be ready for the regular season opener. I would be shocked if he is.
And if he does come back, what does he even look like at that point?
What is it even? Right. So you might be relying on this second-year wide receiver to play like a massive role in your offense, and you have no idea what he looks like across a full NFL season.
Yep.
So I think the 49ers ceiling to me is like we said, about 11. Maybe 12 if a lot of things go right for them. But I think there's a really, really steep drop off there where if a couple of things go wrong in the health department or this rookie class doesn't pan out, where we're looking at another year where they win like 6 or 7.
Be tough, but yeah, I think they'll branch around 10 to 9, I think.
I have another question about their schedule that we can get to. Maybe we can get to this in the handoff because I think it's Kenny today.
And he's actually out, I believe.
Oh, yeah, it's okay. Okay, yeah, Kenny's out. So hopefully Damien's jumping in for the handoff. Even if he's not, I want to ask you this because I think it fits just kind of the NFL preseason analysis in general, not even specifically with the Raiders or 49ers, but with how we view schedules. We'll do that next. That's Jesse. I'm Kyle. Joe Brazil's with us. We're the Insider, sponsored by Jiffy Lube here on ESPN 1320 at Sacramento Sports Center.
Brian, I don't think you have to draft him high, but I would draft him.
Ah, shoot. Tell TC to hit us tomorrow. Tell him my bad. Say that's Kyle's fault. He apologizes.
Or else, for the sake of my mental health, Mac Jones. What's up, man?
Hey.
What's up, man?
It's Damian Barling.
Hold on a second.
Oh, okay.
It was Damian Barling.
Never mind, Jake. You got 4 minutes. Oh my God, these breaks are so long. I don't think so.
That kind of sports center.
You got anything to do here?
Nope. Sure don't. Hey. Oh, hang on. I want to mute the mics.
Oh yeah, do we have a name yet?
What?
The building?
Don't think so.
I voted.
What'd you vote for?
Voted for Your City, Your Sound, I think.
I think I voted
I think
for
that's
that
what I
one,
voted
too.
for as well.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I did vote for Odyssey Sack.
I did too.
Okay, sick.
Let's go.
I thought I was gonna be the only one.
Nah, I voted for that one.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I picked on the name.
You just can't force the building nickname, man.
You can't. It's true.
It's based on vibes, man.
I say, if one day everybody starts calling it the Ridge, then that's
So
what it'll
be
be
it.
called.
Well, yeah, it was a tough day. I had to take yesterday off because Tatum tore his Achilles. It's tough.
It's fine. You see, he's back after the Celtics win. I'm all for it.
Hey, don't do that. Don't
I'm
do that.
off
I
for
was here after that man was done.
I really had a feeling they'd get one more. I hope. I mean, it'd be great if they got Game 6. But I had a feeling they'd get one more.
Knicks,
They're good enough.
yeah, the Knicks should win Game 6, but that's also the second time the Knicks have been able to kill this series, and they haven't.
Yeah.
I can't believe Manti Te'o's on TV.
That is, yeah.
Great haircut, though.
Really strong haircut.
Yeah.
Do you ever think of anything other than the
No.
girlfriend story? Okay, yeah. That in high school, that was like the craziest thing of all time.
Just unbelievable.
But good for him for doing his thing.
Now, back to the Insiders, brought to you by Jiffy Lube on ESPN 1320.
I'm Kyle Madsen. That's Jesse Tapia, Joe Brazil on the ones and twos, and Damian Barling is here for the handoff, and we have a sounder to play for that. Joe, can you kill that music? And perfect.
It's time now for the handoff. Taking the handoff from James and Kyle today, here's D-Lo, Damian Barling.
I want to play a fun game with the NFL schedule.
Okay.
Not really a game, I guess. But there is a there's a tendency to look at schedules and base the ease of that schedule off of the previous year's records.
Right.
So,
which is hilarious.
So I want to go through and actually look. I want to start on the Niners schedule. The Seahawks going to be better or worse than they were last year, or about the same?
The Seahawks?
Yeah.
I'll go same-ish.
Yeah,
I think they're about the same. Yeah, I think they're about the same.
Same for me will be like plus or minus 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I think they're about the same.
Yeah, I agree. That's a coin flip game for the 49ers for me. What about the Saints?
Much worse.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be worse.
I don't see how they could not be.
Go ahead and draft another quarterback next year.
Unless Kellen Moore is the greatest NFL coach of all time. I think that roster is just
he's not
in upheaval.
Spoiler alert. He's not. I'm sure maybe he's a fine coach. I don't know. But you need a roster, and I don't know that he has it. And he certainly doesn't have the most important position.
Shout out Alvin Kamara, though. I will be drafting you this year again.
Smart. What about the Jags? Is Jacksonville going to be better or worse? They have to be better, right?
If they're not, then when are you going to do it, Trevor Lawrence?
That's it.
I'm going to go better.
I think so, too.
For no other reason than, bro.
Like Brian Thomas is there. Travis Hunter is like generational talent.
Yeah.
Like, what else do you need?
Like, what are you doing with him?
Yeah.
Like, do they know what they're doing with him? Did you just see Jake Gayden and smile?
I sure did.
Yeah.
You can't not.
He's hanging out with me for the first couple hours. Yeah.
The Jags were 4-13 last year. They're better than that.
It's tough to get worse than that.
And Trevor Lawrence was out for a bunch. Mac Jones started like 8 games.
Gross.
Ugh. Yuck. I think the
it's
Jags
better, but it actually might be marginally better.
Stop.
Well, what do you mean marginally?
Stop.
Like only 6 wins?
Like seven wins.
Wow. Damian Barling out on the Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence.
You think there's not that big of a gap
I've been out on Trevor Lawrence for a couple of years. Did I fluster you?
Yes. You think Trevor Lawrence is marginally better than Mac Jones?
I think Trevor Lawrence at this point in his career is marginally good.
Damian, I think he's just bang average, pretty much. I think
that's all. That to me, Trevor Lawrence is an average quarterback.
That I won't push back on. He's way better than Mac Jones.
I don't question that, but is Jacksonville that much better?
If
the Jaguars as a whole.
Yeah, if Trevor Lawrence is starting 17 games and instead of Mac Jones starting half the games, yeah. I think they're significantly better.
Trevor Lawrence is who they try to tell us he is. They should win 9 games.
That's what I can't figure out.
It's too late for Trevor Lawrence to be who they said he is.
That's it.
It's way too late.
I think he's better than ass, but he's not this generational all-timer.
Been using that term wrong.
No, we haven't. You've been using that term wrong.
He's not a 2-pack of ass.
There you go.
Like, well, you got to distinguish between, what do you call it? Unwashed ass?
Unwashed.
Yeah, so that's Dame's thing.
No.
1 ass, thumbs up. 2-pack.
Yeah.
That's thumbs down.
Can't be a 2-pack.
We need a graphic that explains this.
The Damian Barling scale. What about the Falcons?
Falcons. I'll go Falcons. So they're gonna go with
the
Penix
Falcons
now, right?
And they were 8-9 last year.
Push.
I think they're about the same.
Yeah, push.
They'll be worse.
Oh,
they'll be worse.
I actually don't hate that thought either. Yeah. I'm gonna push, but I don't hate that.
What makes you say that?
Last year, like the 9 wins felt kind of fake. Like Michael Penix seems like a decent quarterback, but I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he takes a step back just because like now he's out there game 1 and stuff like that.
I feel like I don't
Kirk
really
Cousins coming off the Achilles though.
NFC South team.
He's clearly not the same guy.
Can you turn Kirk Cousins? Like, do you like? Are you just putting him on the bench?
Yeah, he's not. He's not taking a snap for the Falcons. I don't think.
I think they're terrified that Michael Penix is going to get hurt because that's what's happened to him in most of the years he's played football.
So you have to keep him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You need like real insulation.
There's worse options than Kirk Cousins as a backup quarterback.
Desmond Ridder, for example.
It's a great example.
Yeah. What?
Mac Jones, for example.
Ridder, man.
Mac Jones, for example.
Check down Charlie right there.
Yeah, it is. What about where are we at on the Texans? Playoff team last year, 10-7, won their division, but CJ Stroud was not the same guy.
He wasn't, and so that's the question: is like, which one is CJ Stroud? Rookie year sensation,
right,
or sketchy follow up?
That's where when we were going through, we did schedule predictions. We still want the NFL to have them play the games, but we have our predictions for each team.
So mine does.
That's where that was literally I waffled on the Texans thing.
I don't like the division. I'll go either put marginally better, like 11.
Okay.
Like I don't like that division.
Yeah, but when I was trying to figure out if the Niners were if I was going to predict a win or loss there, I get the loss if CJ Stroud looks like he did his rookie year. If he looks like he did last year, like they probably go get that one.
I'm gonna say CJ takes a step up compared to last year, and I think they're better because of that.
I think the Texans might stuff Brock Purdy in a locker. Like that's kind of what I think is going to happen in that game.
It's tough. It's a crazy way to put it. Gets
What?
the point across though.
Yeah.
Not crazy, but just get stuffed in the locker. That's tough.
What about the Panthers? Are we buying Bryce Young?
No,
they'll be better in the sense that they will win maybe 5 games this year, 6 games.
They won
still not buying.
5 games last year.
They
went 5-12.
Give me the Panthers for 6 games this year.
You don't think Bryce Young?
I don't know.
Figured it out.
He showed something. I felt like when he came back in after he got benched the first time.
It wasn't like they dumbed down the offense and he was just like one read, just like check out. He was like making plays. He's moving around.
Yeah, I don't trust that organization, bro.
That's fair.
I don't trust the Panthers or the Jets.
All right, that's fair. So you think they're about a 5-win team again?
Sure,
yeah.
6.
They're just not better. Like no, that's a bad team on the schedule.
I don't think we're having what a turnaround from the Carolina Panthers.
The reason
I don't think that's a thing.
The reason I did this is because every year there's inevitably a game or two on the schedule that you look at before the year and you're like, oh, it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
Like last year, I'm sure every team circled the Niners is like, oh man, tough game on the schedule. And by week 10, you're like, that's winnable.
Yeah.
And vice versa. There's that game that you look at and you go, oh, that's winnable. And then all of a sudden that team is winning 12 games. What about the Browns? I think they're just lost.
Yeah, no.
The road to Arch Manning starts.
Yeah, I don't understand anything they did at the draft.
Drafting Shador felt cool, but also dysfunctional in the way they did it.
Yeah, that it didn't. Drafting Shador when they didn't even feel real.
Has anyone ever looked less excited about a draft pick than Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry?
Well, I mean, no, probably
not.
They
were like,
I would love to know that. Just the thinking, like, why did you take them both? And it's not like you took
as many swings as possible.
RG3 first round and then took Kirk Cousins in the 5th. Like you took 2 late round quarterbacks.
Who was their quarterback? Is it
last year?
It's not James. No, now.
Joe Flacco.
No,
that's Joe Flacco.
That can't be right.
Yeah. No, I think he's right.
Joe Flacco.
Really?
It is. Or if you're into this sort of thing, you can have Kenny Pickett.
Oh, that's
yeah. Shout out to the Browns. All things Browns are on 13-20.
Oh my god,
they're gonna be so bad.
What a sorry ass.
They literally gave Myles Garrett all the money in the entire world just to stick around for this dumpster fire.
And Myles Garrett took it.
Yeah.
Hey, good for him.
Silver lining for the Browns. They have Sac State legend DeAndre Hunter on their team. Salute.
Yeah, shout out.
Not DeAndre Hunter. DeAndre Carter.
DeAndre Carter. Yeah,
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, shout out DeAndre Carter.
Shout out to DeAndre Carter. Stingers up.
Stuck around the league for a while.
I think the Titans are gonna suck.
Okay.
They're an organization. I feel about the Titans right now the way you feel about the Panthers. Like you just don't trust them.
You like Cam Ward?
Yeah, I think I like Cam Ward. I don't like the fact that they fired Rand Carthon and then promoted somebody but hired a GM to not be the GM. It just I don't like anything that's happening in Tennessee. They seem dysfunctional. What about the Bears?
I think the Bears are good.
I do too. I think the Bears.
Is this the year they take a step?
Yeah, I think this is the real. They have a real coach. They have a legitimate, I think, quarterback. I think Caleb Williams is a hooper
for sure. I think they're flirting with double-digit wins.
I do too. I think they're going to be really.
That's plus 5, plus 5 from last year, plus 4 from last year. I think they were 5-12. That might absolutely be wrong.
Yeah, 5-12 is right.
Okay. Yeah, I think they're flirting with double-digit wins.
Yeah, I would. I agree with you. I think they're going to be really good. I just really like a lot of the stuff they did.
I don't know how many more of these we have time for. Minnesota's worse, right?
I think Minnesota's worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minnesota was 14-3 last year.
Yeah.
They're worse.
JJ McCarthy's coming in.
Like they're 9 to 10 wins.
Let me say this. I think they are worse, but like where they win 11 or 12 and they're still a good team. I just don't think they're going to be 14-3 again.
Who wins that division?
The Lions.
Real quick, for the sake of my entertainment, too, the Steelers made the playoffs last year?
Yes.
Are they better or worse with Aaron Rodgers? Only asking Damian.
The Steelers
Push.
won 10 games.
They're
last year.
push. It's no. I know what you're doing.
Hey, Aaron Rodgers. He said they're just as good with Aaron Rodgers. You heard that.
No,
you heard that.
No, they're going to be
Cut
worse.
that. Joe.
Nope. Joe, if you cut
Joe.
that, you're going to see me. Don't cut that. That's not what I'm saying. He's going to screw. For the first time in his life, Mike Tomlin will finish under 500 because of that idiot.
Wow.
He's gonna infest that locker room with nonsense. And the fact that organization is sitting around waiting for that jack off is gross.
Yeah. Zabo, thank you. I'll cut it. Drew Down, you need to cut it. Soren says he heard that.
Nah.
Your price is way too high.
Y'all are whack.
D'Lo and Casey, D'Lo only edition coming up next. Jake Gaden.
Jake Gaden's here.
CBS 13's Jake Gaden.
That's right.
Is here.
Yep.
One of my favorite people in all of Sacramento media. Just
Jake is
a real
awesome.
delight.
Always
Can't
smiling.
We're the Insiders. Jesse Tapia back in with me tomorrow, filling in for James Ham. That's Joe Brazil, one of the best in the business. I'm Comads, and we are sponsored by Jiffy Lube. This is the Insiders, back tomorrow at 10 a.m. right here on ESPN 1320. Until then, drink water, be nice people. Bye.